All right. Welcome to the chat, mates. Okay. Welcome to the stream. Whoop. Okay. What are we doing today? Doesn't power on fuse changed. GA1 transistor changed. Uh, okay. So leave that over there. Okay, so we are into it again tonight. Mainly, we're looking at more Sega CDs. So that's kind of that's the moral of the story here today. Is Sega CDs. Got another three to look at, so we might just take a look at those and see where we're at. Got the same ones from last night, but I think what I'm going to start with tonight is I'm going to start with some good measurements from a good board, because I think that that was a little bit of a miss on me last night, kind of just bouncing around looking for different, more Mega CD Tuesday. I got like five of them. One second now. Um, I got five of them, chat. So look what I did find my I was looking for that, which was my little thing there. Now, okay, I'm always lifting up this keyboard and finding things underneath it. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. All right, so there I have another drive there. Okay, see that drive there. I did have. Oh, here it is. I was going to switch on my vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner. Now, I'm not going to. Okay, we'll throw that in the trash. These are two. Okay, these are all removed things. I know what that is. That's from an Atari ST. Well. Okay. So we will leave that over here. Right. So we're going to use a. I'm going to just use this board over here, which you can see says working. Little handheld vacuum. It's actually quite a good little vacuum. I got to hand it to it, So I've had that for, dang, I don't know how long, but it served me well, and it's been around for a long time. And I'm sort of like, we sad to get rid of it now at this point. But I was just going to use it until the rechargeable battery in it died. But what do you know? The rechargeable battery just never died. So that was the end of that. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I guess we can bring it up here. Uh, let's see, what will we do? Notepad. Because I've actually, maybe I should create like a McFix's Junk Wikia, like a wiki page where I can just like note down things, like stuff that I discovered. Because some of the things that I find out about, I don't see online sometimes, and then I don't actually even write about them then. So it might be good to do a Wikia. Is that a mod chip? No, it's not. It's not a mod chip. I know what you're thinking of. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to zoom in on this board as an example of. Oh boy, that was a bad idea. One sec now. Let's see, can I zoom in on this board? No, that's a horrible idea. Okay, what about this? Okay. Oh, I can see now. Yeah, okay. It's interesting that little SD card in the left there. So, what I can do with this new camera is I can zoom it in. So I can kind of like come down a little bit. So it's different than the GoPro, which had a fixed. The GoPro had a fixed perspective. And this one you can, well, I guess you can move it back and forward. So kind of cool. So I mean, obviously, when you do that, you got to make sure that you're, in focus, which I think I am. So I think it's all right. So no, it's not a mod chip, believe it or not. I do wonder, is this like an aftermarket, not an aftermarket, but something that was decided upon late in development or something? I don't know what it does, but it's factory, and you can see there's a little bit of hot glue on it and whatnot, but it is absolutely factory. And I don't know exactly what it does, but I would say, if I had to guess, it looks like maybe a RAM expansion. And yeah, I don't know what year these were made, so not sure. Anyhow, all we need to know is that it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually plug this one in, because even though some of the locations might be slightly different on the back of the board, the voltages should, whoa, the voltages should be similar. And so what I'm going to do is, whoa, okay, well that's if I don't break it first. Is let's just see, let's just make sure that this thing actually does. There we go. All right, so that is good. Now I'm going to move all these little things over here, and then we'll take some voltage readings from this board while it's running and it's on the BIOS screen. And maybe that might tell us a little bit about what measurements we want to take off those other broken boards later. And I'll make a note of those readings in a just notepad here somewhere. Or is there like an online I guess Pastebin? Can I just use Pastebin? And I could just share that on Firefox then too. New paste. Sega CD Model 2. Okay, so, oh, by the way, I got two new lasers. See them here? KSS 210As. So they're for one of the motherboards, the one that doesn't have the ribbon. So anyhow. Okay, so let's take some measurements to avoid what was pretty much perpetual frustration last night. Let's switch over to the scope. Oh, and this is going to be interesting, right? Because now that I've zoomed in with the camera, the thingamajig meter is going to be a little bit easier to see. So nice. Okay. So before we do anything, it would appear that there's some sort of, what is this? All right, it's just like a little bit of something. A little bit of something. That's all right. Now, let me switch it on. Oh. Are you for real? They're already? I swear to God. I guess it's when I changed the let me just see. Yeah, because it's working now. All right, well, you know what? It's just as well, because the LED is coming on right now, which is good. But the BIOS screen is not showing. You saw it there a minute ago. The BIOS screen is not showing on the thing, but that's okay because the unit itself is on. So we're just going to go to scope, and we can just start probing. And I think we can use the little probes, or the bigger probes, not the not the little ones. All right, so what do we want to do? Let's go over and have a look here. So this unit is on, it's at the BIOS screen. All right, so I believe that will be the voltage regulator. So we've got a voltage regulator here. So let's just let's ground the one side of the pin and let's test one side of the regulator here. So that's out 4.99, in 1137, and then obviously ground is ground. So ground is the middle. So 1137 in on the regulator. I mean 5 volts out. All right, so let's just take that measurement. So 11.99 in. Oh, sorry. Now the transistor is probably the one I'm more interested in, right? And obviously, pretty easy to Oh, I don't know what that noise was. Oh, new subscriber. Well, that can't be bad. Tantran has subscribed. Wow. Sweet. I think that's one of the first times we've had a subscriber that's actually subscribed while I'm actually live. Yay. Okay. Same model, Sega CD Model 2. All right. So 7805. So 11.37 or 38 in, 4.99 out. All right. Now let's go with Q301. And then we'll do Q302. We might measure some resistors as well. We'll see. Okay, let's go back to the scope. Now, so Q301. Well, it's interesting. The fuse on this is actually, is it on the other side? Well, let's have a look over here. Okay. Now, there's the old. Oh, look, we have Q301 and Q303. So this is for, I think it's like a Funai board or whatever it's called. Okay. All right. So let's go measuring some. Let's go measure some values. So Q301 emitter when it's powered on correctly. 1141. Okay. And then base. 0. Let's pull down. And then collector, 1130, 1135. Yeah, I mean, basically the same. So emitter collector, 11 volts. Let me just open the lid of the laptop. Wow. Just to give some more interesting stuff to look at. Yeah, emitter collector 11 point whatever volts. So let's do that. And then we can go and we'll work on the other one. So emitter collector, so E 11.37, and then collector 11.37, and then B 0 volts. All right, Q302. Q302, right? Base. Whoa. Well, actually, I'm stinging myself now because no, we'll just do. Oh, hang on. A little bit dirty, actually. This All right. All right. So. Interesting. Okay, so base of Q302, 0.7 emitter, pulled down, 0.10, collector, also pulled down, 0.20, collector 0.20, emitter 0.10. No, actually emitter nothing. Oh, well, it oscillates. So 0.10 emitter, 0.20 collector. and 0.731 on the base. So 0.731 base, 0.10 on the emitter, and then 0.20 on the collector. All right. Okay, what else can we look at? What else can we look at? Let's just measure. So let's do R30. Oops. R301 out. One side. Sorry. A little tricky to get all this going. Okay. So R302. Oh, sorry. What am I looking at here? Yeah, these are different ones. What ones am I looking at? These are, so R302. Let's have a look up here. Sorry. Okay. So R301, 11 volts. Zero 0.7 and 11 volts. That makes sense. Must be. Yeah, okay. R302 is pulled down. Seven pulled down. Okay. All right. What's this? Is that test point 134? Yeah. So all these test points have specific values you can measure from them. So, okay. Now, what we're going to do now is I left all the windows open from last night where you sent me those giant images of the board. So let's go have a look at that board for a second. Firefox is already open, yeah. All right, so we've taken some shots now, or rather we've taken some restart required. Your PC needs to be restarted to set up finishing devices. Well, maybe that's the way it lost its thing. Okay, so let's just have a quick look here. So this is your power circuit, which is so cool now that like I can really see this up close, right? Windows updates, yeah. Well, it did another firmware update on me the other day, which is great. On the Alienware, which I mean was just the last time it did that, I lost all sorts of devices. Okay, so so what do we get outbound of this power circuit? Well, we get several things. Sorry, there's a little dot here. I just want to scroll over and see where that dot is going. What is that trying to tell me? Hang on. Oh. Oh, it's just like a slightly different circuit. Sega CD2, and what am I looking at? Mega CD2, okay. So this is probably what I really need. I might have been looking at the wrong one. It's all the same though, I think. It's just it's trying to say that it's mirroring that. Okay. So F301, F301, D301, Q302. Yeah, it's interesting. Huh, interesting though. Q302 is a C2012, and if you come down here, sorry, well, I'm actually I'm not sure how far. Yeah, you see down here, Q302 is actually a different transistor. It's Omega CD, so it's not quite this one, but that's okay. This is a transistor with two resistors sort of embedded as part of the chip. The UN221L, I was looking it up earlier. So anyway, let's go up and see how many power lines we get out of this. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 power lines, right? 1, 2, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we look at the power lines, we get VCC3, another one that's off a cap over here. That's VCC2. Um, we get we get this other one here into MVCC, test point 127, right? So test point 127, MVCC. VCC3, which I don't know if that's a test point. We get T134, which was that over there. There it is, T134, which is another test point. You see it here. Don't know what that says. Does that say sono? What does that say? Because we're gonna actually mark these test points as well. Sono? I don't think it says sound. This says SCOR. Oh, signal ground? S ground? All right. Let's have a look. Well, let's just hit T134 for a second. Yeah, that's ground. T134 is just the ground. Sorry, I was just testing it there. MVCC, motor VCC, T127. Where's T? There's T127. Right, let me just so T127 is motor VCC, I would assume. Right, let's just go to scope. There's T127. Motor VCC is probably like what? Like 10 volts or something? Let's see. Because then we can when we test the other ones, we can tell like what are we getting, what are we not getting. So this is, oh, huh, 1.12 volts, 1.12 volts. So it's definitely not the motor. 1.13 volts. Let's just make a note of that. Test, what was that test point? So T134 GND, T127 1.13. Okay, let's go back to the schematic again. Yeah, I would have thought 9 volts too, but I don't think that's what's happening here. T128 is VCC. Oh, I see. So if you look here, right, VCC3, you see VCC3 goes to test point 128. So that should be 9 volts. So let's check test point 128, which is over here. There it is, T128. Okay, and that one should be my guess would be some kind of 9 volts. All right, let's just check. What is going on here? 14 millivolts. It's like, that should be ground. Sorry, I'm just. $14 millivolts. I wonder why that's doing that. That's when I touch it to the positive rail, but on, whoa, see, something is happening. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Whoa. Oh, never mind. Okay, we're gonna have to test the other one too as well. I think I had it on, I didn't have it on the right thing. Ooh, that's a good voltage regulator, don't you think? 5000. Okay, so T128 is that. Let me just go back to T127 for a minute. That's 11 volts. That's what I thought. Okay, so T127 is 11 volts. And then what's T134? Well, T134 is nothing, it's just ground. T128. What did I say the other one was? T134? Okay, let's have a look. So that was 11. Yeah, so that was, sorry, so that was the motor. That was the motor. Um, I just had it on AC when I measured it. So this one here, T127 is actually 11.3. Yeah, okay. And then, sorry, T128 is 5 volt. All right. So then we got 5 volt, 11 volt. Right. What else do we have? And then we can use, hopefully then I can just use that to do mess with these other ones. VCC 3, VCC 2. So VCC 3 we know is test point 128. AVCC, we don't know what that is. MVCC 127, 128. This is a clock. This is ground. This is signal ground. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Clock, IRQs. Don't see any other. VCC2. So we have our 5 volt and our 11 volt. But what I believe though is there's a different voltage that's going to like the chips. Okay, so this looks like a clock. All right, let me just come out a little bit. All right. Okay. So that's good. That's the, and then IC114 V in, V out. Okay, so VCC. What goes, VCC2 is doing what? There's VCC2 going into T6. So it looks like VCC2 is going in to this chip right here. IC112, VCC2, right? So VCC2 is probably like 3 volts or 3.3 or 1.8 or something. Yeah, I see IC11 boot ROM, right? This pin. So it's not clear to me which test point is VCC2 though. It'd be nice to know that. Just go down here a little bit. So it would have been nice to know like which of the test points was VCC2. Because my guess is that, you know, you've got 5 volts for part of the console. Unless VCC, AVCC. Okay. VCC2 might also be 5 volt. VCC2 into pin 13. V out, V in. VCC2, IC114. But I have to turn upside the board to do that. VCC2. Okay, let me just go here for 1 second. Let me just search for VCC2. Oh, that's a shame. So it's not able to do the block diagram, boot ROM, game processor. Just giant block diagram. Okay, servo drive, audio section, digital signal. Let's go up to the top here. I come down. So let's see if there's a mention of the more test points at all. Yeah, all the test points are labeled on the left there. Let me just go in a little further. Heat clock data. So let's see if there's anything on the right here. Not used, not used. Okay. So, on one of the, yeah, this is the pretty dingy looking, yeah, there's the test points again. This is the dingy looking one that I had, but the good news about this one is, oops, this one, I want to just have a quick look at it for a second. Oh my God, now what's going on? I want to have a look at this PDF right here. Okay, I want to just see, there was a list of test points on this document here somewhere. I just want to see if I can find it. Yeah, adjustment parts location, it's adjustment jig. That Sega adjustment jig I'd be interested in. Test point TP clock. These are all test points, TPX, TPY, tracking gain adjustments. You could get out the oscilloscope if we wanted to, but this thing works, so we don't need to do that. CD interface signals, blah, blah, blah. CD clock, CD interface. But that's not what I'm looking for. This is good though. It has all the tracking stuff, and we can get out the oscilloscope if we have more interest in that. ECM sound. Right, I think it might be further down here though, the test point stuff. Yeah, well, it's got all the chip inputs. Oh, VCC. Let me just do a search for VCC2 on this one. Yeah, see, you can't find it. I guess that's just it. All right, that's okay. Do we have any other test points here? Interesting test points. TP98, TP126. Okay. Just going to see if there's any other interesting test points before I go and switch this one out for a different model. There are a bunch of test points down here. TP96, what's that reading? Nothing. With this one. Same deal. TP198, 4.9 volts. 4.9 volts, and then another one. Yeah. Oh, okay. This pin here. Sorry, let me show you something. So this pin here has 1.3 volts on it. 11.5. 1.5. 1.2. 4.8. So what is this? That's ground. That's definitely ground. So 1.3, 11.5, 1.2, 4.8. Oops, 0.6, 4.8, 3.9. Okay, so a lot of voltages there, but let's give this. Wow, that's hot. Okay, so we're gonna take this one over, put it back where we found it, because we have it marked working. And then we're going to take this one power on. so this is this is one that we didn't look at last night. So let's take a look at this one. Okay. Just for something a little bit more interesting, as in, now, so this is a new one that we will look at. If this one says something else. Okay, so this one should be slightly interesting. Whoops. Now, unfortunately, this is giving the same issue. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to I'm going to switch off the USB. Now it's going to cut some things. So just give me a second. Wish I could bring that. I wish I could bring that back. Why is that? Okay, I'm going to kill the overhead, and I'm going to put the overhead into another unit. Okay. Seems like, oh, all right. Well, of course, that's been killed now. So now that's not working. Okay, so now let's. Okay. Big load of nothing. Okay. Let's go in the back of the machine. Machine. Yeah, so now I've lost my overhead as well. It's a real shame. Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do to get the overhead back is go in a different way. Not that one. I think I want this one. Okay, so I'm going to try something different here. I've lost my overhead now, which is like just I don't even know what to say about that. So let's just go in. Going in a different way here. Yeah, so now it's the main USB power bus I seem to have lost. Okay, so I'm just going to go in this way and see what happens. So it's a real shame. I think I've lost yeah, it looks like I may have lost. Okay, so let me restart the stream. Sorry.